I would also recommend you to go back to the first fetter. I mentioned this lots of times, but I'm going to repeat it again. Go back to the first fetter, have a notebook with you, and make, pages for lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3. And what you write down in the notebook is the different types of identification that you catch yourself with, so you know which lesson to go back to that is going to be the most useful for you. And you do the same with the second fetter. Everything in every lesson you write in individual pages, so you know exactly where to go back to about the things we're going to talk about in this fetter. Because what I'm going to touch about is you need to be in a place where you no longer identify with thought. You might still identify with feelings and emotion because it's a huge one and it won't all fall until we are in the 8th. So lots of time to look into that. But you need to be in a space where you can pull yourself up and observe the feelings when they happen. So if you feel like anger coming up in you, you no longer react. But you observe what is happening. What underlying belief is it that I am defending right now? Is this about healthy boundaries, or am I just a whiny toddler? You might also be in a position where you do react. You do yell, and you do slam the door, and you do all of that. But then afterwards, instead of holding all that against you, you're in a position where you can observe what actually happened. And that is super important, that you are there before you move on to this fetter. Because in this fetter, I'm going to dissolve, or you are going to dissolve, all the diversions and all the distractions that you do, which means that it's going to be a very, very raw experience. It's going to be there will be nowhere for you to run and nowhere for you to hide, because I'm pulling the rug under every single diversion and distraction that you have. And you're going to it's going to feel like you're very, very naked and very, very exposed. And that's why it's very important also that you have a group or you have a guide, someone that can help you and support you when you are in this period of your life. And if you have previous mental health issues, or if you have like issues that you have had anxiety or depression, or you have had uncontrolled rage, or you have had anything like that, and you have a therapist, or you thought about having a therapist at some point in your life, now is the time to get one. Now is the time to contact your therapist and going like, I just want you on hold, in case I need it. Because it is a huge one. There will no longer be anything you can do without you observing why you do this. There will be a lot of introspection. There will be a lot of referring back to fear, anger, guilt, and shame, or referring back to the toxic starting point. No matter what happens, I want you to stay in that open space where there's no judgment, there's no assumption, there's no prejudice, there's just the pure experience, and you just observe. And at any point, you can close your eyes and breathe deeply and go into your direct experience. That's where you breathe, and whatever feeling or emotion or thought is happening in your mind, you allow it to become big. You really, really allow it to be big. And then when you feel ready, you separate the feeling and the direct experience, the sensory experience of the body right now. And then you can see that the feeling is only happening and only giving you a mood because of a thought. We're back in the first. So because of that thought, you have a feeling or you have an emotion that is coming up. What happens when you separate the two and you just stay in your direct experience and you just stay in the body? Is there anything in that? Is there any connection between the sensory experience that you have right now and a feeling? Are those two connected at all? And you will see that no, they're not. No, they're not. The thought and the feeling are connected. But the sensory experience, the knot in the stomach, when you remove the word not and you remove the word stomach and you just sit with the sensory experience and there's no label attached to it, then that is just what is happening right now. There's no hooks into the past or hooks into the future. That can only happen with a thought. So you just stay with the sensory experience right now, and then you have awareness and pay attention to what is alive right now. And in that space, nothing needs to change and nothing needs to happen. There are no preferences towards anything. There's nothing that could be better than right now. There's no expectation for anything to either, be improved or be removed. Everything just is as it is. And in that space, everything is completely okay. It's completely okay.